So back in 1990, I had worked with a fourth grade teacher, coaching her with communications, and she invited me to come to her classroom to observe what she had done with the work that we had done together. After observing the kids for a while, she turned the class over to me. And I really wasn't prepared, so off the top of my head, I said, I'm curious about something. I had heard them talking about another little boy in the school, not in their class, and they chose to call him Steve. And I said, I'm curious about Steve. It sounds like he's a jerk. And they said, oh yeah, he is. I said, well, how do you know he's a jerk? And they started to show me evidence. Well, he trips himself up on the playground and he cries a lot and he pushes other kids and he won't share his toys. I said, okay, sounds like he's a jerk. I said, I have an idea. Let's, everybody in this room, pretend that everybody that you know, all the kids in the school, all your friends in the neighborhood, your cousins, everybody that you know thinks that you're a jerk. How would you feel? And they started thinking, and one little girl said, oh, I think I might be very sad. And somebody else said, I'd be very lonely. And then one little boy, the cool kid in the class, pops up out of his seat and says, not me. I would prove that I'm not a jerk. And I said, how would you do that? And he starts stomping across the room like this, proving that he was looking like a jerk. And at first the kids laughed, and then all of a sudden they realized that the more he tried to prove he wasn't a jerk, the more he looked like a jerk. So then the room got very quiet, and one little girl said, you know, I really feel sorry for Steve because he's never been the same since he saw his daddy die. And I find out from the teacher later on that the year before or so, his father had died at the swimming pool when they were just the two of them alone and he couldn't help his father. So I said, well, if that had happened to you, do you think maybe there would be things that you felt that no one else understood and you didn't know how to talk about it? And they said, oh, yeah. I said, I have an idea. Let's play a different game. Let's everybody in this room, and I don't care about the rest of the school, but everybody in this class, let's pretend that Steve's not a jerk, and we'll do it for just a week, okay? And they said, no. I forgot that in the mind of a 9-year-old, a week is like asking him to wait for Santa Claus. So they negotiated with me and they said, we'll do it for 2 days. I said, okay, 2 days. And then the bell rang and the kids left. And a couple of weeks later, I spoke to the teacher, and it turns out that after the 2 days, they decided they wanted to extend the game for the rest of the week. And then all of a sudden, it became just the way it was. As a matter of fact, the teacher sent me a whole stack of copies of letters that they had written to a member of the Board of Education. I'm only going to read 1 or 2 of them to you, but this was so impressive to me. One little girl said, he acted like this because his father died, but then our class became very nice to Steve. He changed a lot. Now other people are nice to him too. Steve used to fall and cry and fake a limp. Now he just says, I'm fine, don't worry. Steve makes a lot of friends now, and I'm one of them. And then at the end she writes, and this is from a 9-year-old, she says, P.S. It feels good to make a difference in someone's life. It sure does, and it doesn't take much. If you understand that you don't know what other people are experiencing and going through, it doesn't take much to be nice to people. You could change their lives.